Hameen Media Group presents your NXT Next Level Wrestling Review with your host, Big Ray and the Vet. So,
are you ready? We said, are you ready? Yeet.
good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Next Level Wrestling Review here, live. Whether you're watching on Hameen Media Group's YouTube channel, the X, YouTube, Twitch, channelattitude.com, but not for long. Ha ha. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am the pundit of the people, the man with plan, Big Ray, here to stay, to hopefully stay connected to the internet today. It's a long story, but neither here nor there, ladies and gentlemen. I am not alone with this whole internet debauchery, folks. I have the man, the myth, the legend. He is the best in the world, and if I didn't get copyright stricken, I would throw up the CM Punk gimmick, but no, it's not going to happen. So I'll just throw this up, folks. The Vet. That's him. He's a Rip Rogers guy. The Vet. Best in the world. Rip Rogers guy. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the best in the world. A Rip Rogers guy. Vet Jamie Williams. Vet, so far so good, right? Oh, wait, hold on. I'm an idiot. Hold on. I always forget to unmute you.
Blah, blah.
There we go. Now we're back. How's Gary?
I think everything's running smoothly so far.
Thank God for T-Mobile mobile hotspot. Apparently the internet is blowing up everywhere. Like literally, not in a good way. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
Oh. Hey, how's Gary?
Oh, Gary's good. Just...
Well, you have Gary, and I have lovable Larry.
the hell is that thing?
My wife gave this to me. See what it says? Damn right. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do the kids say? Kill it with fire?
No. That's
No,
not nice.
no one said that.
No, nobody says. Oh, boy. What is going on, folks? What is going on, Vet? How's your week been so far, my friend?
Pretty good. A little bit of internet hiccups here and there. Kind of annoying.
Weird.
Happening to people I know everywhere, so it just makes me think it's weirdly coincidental.
Well, it's no coincidence, Vet. Like I told you, the mothership is landing. So she's probably knocking over satellites here and there.
Yeah.
And we're done for. Finally. Finally.
We had a good run.
Yeah. Or it could be Planet X, like Ben says. Or Jesus is coming back and, he's just chopping things down with swords. I don't know.
Wasn't Planet X, wasn't that where Marvin the Martian is from? Or not Marvin the Martian, but
was it?
Who was from Planet X?
I think it was Marvin the Martian.
Well, he was from Mars, wasn't he?
Oh, wait. I don't know. Who was from Planet... For chat?
Yeah, chat. Who was from Planet X? I forget.
Oh. Anyway.
Someone
Oh,
was.
boy. Well, you know what, Vet? I will kick off by saying NXT wasn't too bad, and I'm waiting for you to tell me why it was. I quite enjoyed it.
Well, just look at it.
Well, we don't have any... Well, I still have somebody to look at. And I call her Chocolate Thunder. I've been calling her that for a while.
Chocolate Thunder's nephew is still technically employed.
Yo, those two dudes, I forgot about them. I told you that.
I think they were on. Yeah, you did. I think the one guy, the guy that you hate,
I don't hate
over
anybody.
the tattoo thing. I think he's on Evolve, but I didn't see young Malik there, Mr. Nephew of actual Chocolate Thunder, Daryl Dawkins. Now he was from Planet Lovetron, not X.
Stop it. I'm doing two things at once, but stop it.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. I'm trying to find something. I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, bro. Bro, let me tell you something. What's the... I know this is small talk, but what's the weather like where you are right now?
58 and sunny.
Are you shitting me? 58 and sunny?
Well, it's only 8 a.m. here. It's probably going to get hotter later.
Bro, it was 155 degrees yesterday here in New York City.
I think you added a few degrees.
All right, 105.
That's still pretty hot.
It's freaking... Bro, at least in the desert, doesn't the sand soak up the... like when you live in Vegas, does the sand get most of that heat?
Yeah, but it's also like... Because, you know, sand is essentially like unprocessed glass, it also reflects the heat back out.
Right. But not here in New York City. All we got is pavement.
All that
and dog
sand
shit.
is... Spider-Man has to fight it.
Yeah, you didn't hear what I said?
No, I was busy
Whoa,
making my own
baby.
joke.
I
Hey,
hit that by mistake. Wow, I forgot I had that one.
did you make a wine joke?
Remember
Oh, boy.
Whoa Baby Wine? Hold on, let's do it again.
Whoa, baby.
Did it really go anywhere, or did we just not talk about it? It's not on the shelf next to American Wheatley.
I don't know. That's a good question. Hey, Elizabeth, you're an alcoholic. Can you please let me know? I'm kidding. I just made that up.
It's not too far of a stretch to ask any white woman about wine. So
Yeah. You know, my wife
it's a good shot. You know,
my wife is not a big wine person.
how white is she?
She's Puerto Rican.
50%.
She likes vodka.
American Wheatley vodka.
Yes. Yo, I told you I was gonna buy some. And I was like, wait, that's way too expensive. Let's not. Sorry, Cody.
What do they
It's
want
okay.
for it?
So you can get what do I drink? Smirnoff. I like Smirnoff. That's my favorite, right? And Smirnoff is pretty good. And you get a big jug, man, here in New York City for like $25. You know? And then Wheatley's like 35, like almost 40 for like something not as big.
I mean, that's in line with other vodkas. Smirnoff's kind of like the McDonald's of vodka.
Would you stop?
It's not?
No. I would say no. What did Smirnoff be? It might be. Anyway.
Maybe it's the Hardee's, Carl's Jr. of vodkas.
The Burger King of vodkas. Does Burger King still exist, folks? Who knows?
That would be whatever the cheapest one is, the bottom shelf rot gut vodka is Burger King.
Oh, that's the
I forget the name of it, but poor people come in and buy it all the time.
Svedka? No, Sky?
No, Sky's not.
Sky's not bad, right?
It's
I don't know.
okay.
Laser? Laser
Whatever.
vodka.
Yeah, we should probably get to
Oh.
some business because we never know how long this hotspot is going to stay functional.
Well, I have 40 gigabytes and I have used none. So this is the first time I've ever used. Is 40 gigabytes good?
Sure.
It's 40 gigabytes high speed and then it goes unlimited to whatever they give me. So 3G.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Let's hope this works out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to...
Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. You're going to acknowledge me. You there, sitting at home. Acknowledge me.
All right, folks. We're going to look up in heaven right now because last week I didn't. And he was not happy because I had one hell of a week. He must have put in the bad word for me. And who am I talking about, ladies and gentlemen? I'm talking about the one and only, our guardian angel, the one in Media 1, Media M5. No, there's no 5. There's the 1 and 5. Anyway, our brother in heaven, Media M5, a.k.a. Big Mike, who got the gabagool. How you doing? How you doing? Oh,
I'm
man.
glad he wasn't alive to see this
I was
Heritage
about
Cup
to
match.
say that. I was about to say, Mike, you're lucky you're dead, brother, because I'm sure you're looking at other things that are much, much sweeter and nicer than this ridiculously. And I'm not even burying it because they were assholes, my buddy, but ridiculously cartoonish dumb, horrible angle. Fucking shit. Mafia guys fighting over a goddamn cup. A trophy. A Stanley Cup ripoff. I don't know. We kick it off with the biggest ass in all of HMG, Frank's Picklebarrow ass, ladies and gentlemen. We move on to the heart and soul of the chat, the artist currently known as Gammy Wolfers. What does he say? He says, working this morning, but I'll be here through the power of yeet. I know you'll figure it out. We have the lovely Elizabeth, yeah, and she drinks her wine, yeah, right out of the bottle, yeah,
Right out of the box.
yeah. Hey. Don't shit on boxed wine. Boxed wine is just as good as expensive wine. How do I know that? Because I've seen multiple videos where they trick the rich people into thinking they're drinking good wine. Oh, I denote notes of this and that. And it's like, yeah, it was fucking boxed wine.
It's a bag of Francia. What are you talking about?
Ah, fudge. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Lab Rat here. What are they testing on Lab Rat?
Box wine.
Yes! Bingo. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a deer in the forest or anywhere, maybe a mythical deer, doesn't matter. You will bow and kneel and unzip the pants of the one and only man deer. What?
He'll even give you a box of wine.
Yeah, woo! That's what he says. Love you, man deer.
Yeah, speaking of box of wine, woo!
You heard of Dolph Ziggler?
Sure have.
Well, he got his cousin, Zach Minker.
Ooh.
Yeah, what's going on?
He's here to show the world.
Zach Attack. Friends forever. Friends until the end. Zach Attack. Zach Minker. Anyway. What's up, Zach? Ladies and gentlemen, we have the handsome one, the dancer one, the slasher one, the handsome dance and slash, and Dan Heffron. He says, greetings and salutations, my friends. I wouldn't feel right if he didn't say that.
Yeah, fresh off a brand new guitar cover.
Oh, really? Where? What do you got? What do you do?
On YouTube. It was I want to say The Girl is a Centerfold, Jay Giles band.
Sure. I don't know.
You know that
does,
song.
dope.
You know the one.
Sing it. Go.
Na 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 na.
Yep, know it already. That's it. So you have na na na. Yeah, that's on every early 2000s frat movie. That's the underlying theme song. Well, ladies and gentlemen, maybe warm out here, but this man is. Come on, baby.
That was cold-blooded.
Throwing up the CM Punk best in the world emojis.
That's my custom Twitch emote.
That is his custom Twitch emojis. Can you make one with Colin with a pride flag behind him?
Could. Won't.
Well, we have the master and ruler of the world. And I don't give a damn who you are. Zane Vicious.
He wants the Sandman to sweep us off the stage for some reason.
Why?
I don't know. Who even gets that reference anymore?
Oh,
How old is Zane Vicious if he knows this vaudeville hook reference?
He's got to be at least 45. Borderline. And I say
Probably
that
145.
well, maybe.
How do you figure out how to work the internet?
I say that because I was a teenager and I was watching the Sandman pulling people off the stage on 125th Street here in New York City. What are we talking about? Google it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the winniest of all Chris's. I call him Chuckles. Mr. Oh, no. Did I delete it? No, it's right here.
Yes, boy.
I moved things around on the soundboard. Chris Winland is in the house. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue. And as I fast forward and cold-blooded, and it looks like Zane Vicious are going in here. And, all right, did I miss anybody? Please tell me I did not.
I don't think so.
Oh, my God.
We got some usual suspects maybe missing for now, but they could always pop in.
You cool me. Friends forever. Singing that every time we see Zach here.
I don't mind.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, well, it's time for my favorite time of the show. Well, not really my favorite time. My favorite time is coming up right after that. But it is time for, and I have to put over that I am the originator of this segment There are people that use it now, but I've been doing it since 2011, and I have proof. OneWrestling.com. 3 count. This is the 3 count. With the latest breaking news in pro wrestling, sports, pop culture, and more. Now, back to Big Ray and the Vet. Oh, yeah. I feel it. Do you feel the power, Vet? The cockles?
Yeah. I know nobody else. Anybody could use the phrase the 3 count, but is anybody else always, reminding everybody and reporting on Frank Gotcha's uremic poisoning? Like,
No.
I don't think so.
No
way.
They're not the pundits of the people.
No.
They're dirty Brits. Anyway, let's see what we got here news-wise, folks. Remember, every news report is just a rumor. We're just here to have fun with it, so we'll see what happens. Unless it's actual news, then you'll hear like the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, the music. Pat McAfee said on his show that he's just been exhausted, and that's why he hasn't been on Raw commentary lately. It sounds like he could be back after Night of Champions, however. How is that going to go over with the boys, folks? What do you think, Vet? How's that going to go over with the office, with the boys? He's exhausted. He's so tired. But, I mean, to be fair... Oh, we're missing the professor. To be fair, it is a heavy load. He does run his own business. He does have his own it's a huge show. And, it's not easy doing color commentary for Monday Night Raw Weekly. Do you think anybody cares? Not that he's not there because I miss him, but do you think anybody cares that he's tired?
Nobody should care. Look, I mean, certainly from a personal perspective, when these guys make all this money, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I have no problem with them making the money, but I also don't want to hear about anything about you being tired or things being hard. I mean, I just, I work a job and then basically just take my shoes off and sit on this mic. Like, I don't want to hear if somebody's tired. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. Now you're asking, like, how does this get over with the boys, right? And yeah, some of them may feel the same way. But also, the WWE knows that, like, they need Pat McAfee more than Pat McAfee needs them. Not that I don't know. Now, I don't really know who seriously is such a Pat McAfee fan that they would watch Monday Night Raw even though they hate wrestling just to watch him. I don't know if he's really bringing anybody in or if Pat McAfee fans just do what most normal people do and say, oh, the person I like is doing that. Well, good for them. I'll just continue to not take part in it like I have my whole life. I think that's probably the majority of people. So I don't know that he really brings it. It's like the same thing with the Logan Paul. Like, does he really bring an audience? Maybe.
I think he does. For Logan, yes. I see him bringing more of an audience than...
We don't see that reflected anywhere, though. You know what I mean? Like, if they do, we don't know. Is it just YouTube numbers? Is that it? Is it the kind of people that would watch Logan Paul? Are they responsible for, the times when certain clips get millions of views or something like that? Perhaps. I don't know what Pat McAfee would be, but in WWE's mind, Pat McAfee legitimizes them as an organization because, wrestling has a stigma in entertainment and sports. Like, they piss both of those entities off. So you need legitimacy. Maybe they feel that Pat McAfee brings legitimacy to them. Maybe that's why they kicked Corey Graves to the curb as soon as they were available to get him. Right? So, yeah. Maybe they don't care if he feels tired because they'd rather have him than not have him.
Sure. That's
but,
Well, speaking of Logan Paul, Vet, apparently during one of these fan fest gimmicks that he was doing, he was approached by a fan, And why don't we just take a look at what happened between him and an actual fan, and I'll explain to you what's going on for those listening on audio later on. But maybe you can hear this clearly. We'll see. As you see a picture, you see Logan Paul signing autographs, right? And then here we go.
I don't think this is real.
I don't think this is real, he says.
How did you get this?
How did you get this?
Huh? Oh, okay. How could you have already gotten it? It was out like 3 days ago. Nah, they didn't deliver it yet. This is a fake.
It's a fake.
This is a fake. No.
Fake.
There's no way you could have gotten this card.
No way you could have gotten this
How?
So there's a people there for Logan Paul, just so you know. He's discussing it with one of his boys, and then he shoots him
How
down.
could you have gotten this card in time?
He's very upset.
You're lying.
You're lying.
That's a fake.
Fake. Bye, Logan. Bye, Logan. Logan walks off. It's fake. So basically what it says here is that Logan Paul refused to sign someone's fake WWE Topps trading card. So apparently people are they're freaking faking these cards in order to get an autograph and probably sell them at well, I guess more than twice the value because they're worth nothing. Vet, I don't know if you collected cards. Were you a big baseball or football or basketball card collector? I was more of a baseball card collector. Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh, or I don't know what you kids back in the day did. What's the other one that they play with the fucking
Magic?
Pokemon Magic. But they are counterfeiting cards. And apparently with this gentleman, he says, "Oh, I got it out of the box." And he's like, "There's no way." And apparently since then, he has confirmed with Topps that the card was indeed a fake. And so to answer my question, I mean, I did ask you, did you collect cards as a kid or no?
I had some, but I wasn't a big collector. I had a few of those binders with the plastic sleeves. I had some NBA cards, and I had some Marvel Comics trading cards, I believe. I had a lot of things as a kid that like sort of came with cards or suggested that you should get cards, you know, but I wasn't like majorly into them.
Okay.
The way some people are. You know what the most cards I ever had was? You remember
WWF trading cards.
No, not really. The most I ever had. Do you remember jumbo sunflower seeds?
Oh yeah, of course.
So you remember when they used to come with like their own baseball cards? They were like you would.
Don't.
Okay, so jumbo sunflower seeds would have these. Like they came with like a pack of 3 trading cards. They were their own jumbo branded. Like it wasn't like Topps or any of those. It was just 3 baseball cards, and they were all star players. Like there was no crap baseball players in this thing. So you seem to have a little problem with your camera there. So yeah, so you know, my uncle used to eat the hell out of sunflower seeds.
Oh, so did I.
And so I ended up with like 3 full sets.
That's cool.
Like
I don't
each
remember doing
season,
that,
each
though.
season would be like a new set of cards, and they were, you know, they were kind of cool for free cards in a sunflower seed bag. They, you know, they weren't as nice as the Topps, the Fleer, the Upper Decks. You know, they're not as nice as that, but I mean, you know,
It's funny, those like weird generic name brand type cards, sometimes they could be worth tons of money if you still have them because they're more rare, right? Is that
Yeah.
proper term? They're more rare. I actually collected the old WWF cards, the blue ones, with the blue fucking piping around the orange.
yeah.
What was the
I
other
may have had a
piping?
few of those.
Yeah, I had a bunch of those, man. And I remember, I may have told the story here, but I remember live on air, I opened up a pack of 1986 WWF trading cards. And I was doing the show with Bill Schuyler. It was an old school wrestling show. And I decided to
The gum.
to eat the gum, and it disintegrated in my mouth. It was disgusting, bro. That to this day, other than me drinking piss live on air by mistake, I told you that one, right?
Probably.
Oh man, it's just I was it's disgusting. Oh my god, I almost threw up live on air, and we were doing a live stream. And this is back in the day with Bill Schuyler. Oh man, I miss my buddy Bill. Anyway, but good times, man. Stop fucking trying to scam the wrestlers. According to multiple sources, Liv Morgan was supposed to face Io Sky, United Champions, for the title before she was injured. I think they're keeping her off air, Vet, to continue to build the fact that, you know, what's her face is going to be part of the she'll be the tag team champions. What's her name? The little Asian girl, Spanish girl. What is he?
Roxanne Perez.
Roxy, yeah, Roxy. So I think they're going to just keep her off there maybe about 2 or 3 weeks, you know, and then she starts, you know, she, instead of chicken nuggets, maybe she brings them something different, like what would you bring, tacos or no, what's a good Mexican food? Something handheld. No, come on, man.
Empanadas, yeah. Just like so, why not? Okay, that's fine and all, but this is just the worst. Like,
why?
Because the obvious thing that you do is you bring, assuming that's okay. Like if there's a health reason why not, then don't do it. But as long as everything's okay, I would bring Liv with a sling, having her like wanting Dominic to dote on her, and then Roxanne sort of like having Dominic have to be busy for some reason so that he can't do it. I mean, look, that's not necessarily the kind of wrestling TV I want to watch. It sounds like some NXT bullshit, right. But that's the kind of stuff they like doing up there. So I don't understand why they're not doing it.
I don't understand why they're not. Well, like I said, I think they're going to keep her off air for a few.
I think if you're hot, you got to keep it going. I wouldn't miss any work just because I busted my shoulder.
Right. Well, no kidding. And by the way, quick shout out to Aaron Ben Shlomo and of course our friend Jerome Hall, who jumped in a little late. And I will tell the piss story if we have time again later. I'm not gonna get into that. It's disgusting. Let's see what else we got here. Hey, they also say, and they meaning the sources, say Chad Gable is injured and is getting taken out. Wait. Chad Gable is injured and is getting taken out by Penta, was meant as a television write-off.
He got taken out by Penta? I don't even remember
him getting injured. No, so if you watch Monday Night Raw this past week, Chad Gable got
missed it.
You missed it. He got in the face of Penta, okay? And this was just after Penta took the loss to Braun Breaker, and Penta was like, look, leave me alone, and he gave him the whole broken arm gimmick, so.
He did it in a match, too, and his arm didn't break. These guys are so fucking stupid. I'm sick and tired of everybody. God, why? First of all, how are you going to... Never mind. What?
Well, I'm saying he did it backstage on the floor.
Oh, it's much deadlier there. Yeah.
Does that make sense now? Or?
You're talking about the sacrifice, right?
The arm gimmick.
It's called the sacrifice.
My sacrifice.
Not that.
Oh. Sorry. I'm scared to move on.
Go ahead, move on.
Wrestling Observer Radio says it's unclear what WWE has planned for July 4th or 4th of July.
Great reporting.
Here. Oh, sorry. SmackDown, for the SmackDown show. And whether it will be 2 or 3 hours, no one seems to know anything as of yet.
How much per month?
The same sources also said no one is allowed to mention anything regarding the conflict in the Middle East. Shocker. On Monday Night Raw this week. And it's why they haven't brought it up during the show. Don't the WWE usually bring up war?
Yeah, all the time.
What the fuck is going on? As per Fightful Select, Joe Hendry is expected for more WWE dates. You pay for this, folks. I'm just letting you know.
How much is that one? Free. Is that the $12?
I think, no, this is the $5 one, I think.
It's $5 for Select is $5? You can't get anything for $5 anymore. That might be a deal.
Or is it 15?
Oh, it might be 15.
It might be 15. But Fightful Select, that's the high tier one, right?
Oh.
Says that hold on. It's been a while since I did this. Ibush Kota! Kota Ibushi was dealing with a lot of injuries during his absence from AEW, but he's doing better physically, and that's it. He's
Can someone confirm the price of this?
police. Yeah, J12 is in the house. Listen, Vet, this is pretty much, let me see what we have in pro wrestling news. I'm just going to give a quick little sweep. Today is June 25th. You know what that means? What do you think that means, Vet? Let's see. WWE. Let me just type this in. There we go. Let's see. So, today, if you go on your Xbox or if you go on your PlayStation 5, and if you have the game, you get to play as Tyrese Halliburton, or you get to play as Shaquille O'Neal, or you get to play as my brother, Jalen Brunson, or you get Abyss. He comes along with Janice, and I believe Great Khali.
Yep.
It's called the Dunk and Destruction Pack. So if I get internet today, hopefully, I'll download that and play with them.
It's a nice assortment. Wasn't everybody trying to guess who the mystery basketball player would be?
I know it was
and
gonna
didn't
be
you
Shaq.
say it? Shaquille O'Neal? Yeah.
I think I did. Yeah. It makes the most sense. Hey, Shaq would have made a great wrestler. He wasn't terrible, right? When he wrestled, I don't remember the matches, the AEW stuff. How was he? Was he any good at all?
It's not the best, but I will say that, if he had had time to devote to it, I mean, anything that Shaq devotes time to, he could be good at it, pretty much.
Yeah, and he's got such natural charisma and stuff like that, and he's legitimately 7 feet plus and legitimately over 300, almost 400 pounds. The guy's he's a beast, man. Anyway, that's all we got for professional wrestling news this
God,
week.
we didn't have any news at all, really.
There was
That was the equivalent of like having Chad Gable get overworked trying to get everybody over and then hurt himself.
Wow. So Professor, the magnanimous, glorious, and scholarly says Fightful, 5 pesos special package.
Oh my God. There's nothing that costs 5 pesos. That's an almost infinitesimally small amount of money. Even 5 pesos itself costs like 10 pesos.
It's true. It's true. Well, Vet, listen. Let's forget about this news. Forget about what happened today.
Just go back in time.
Why don't we go back in time to a yesteryear, a better time? Jump into the Pro Wrestling Reflection time machine. And ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to this day in professional wrestling history.
Will you stop? What you gonna do? Boobies.
What's your name, fella?
Triple H.
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to 1960-something. Let's go back to June 25th, 1968, as the great Bobo Brazil defeated Giant Baba for the NWA International Heavyweight Championship in Nagoya, Japan. Sorry. He would lose the title back to Baba 2 days later. Vet, you were there live. What did you think of this match?
Well, I thought it was a barn burner, a classic. It'd be 5 stars anywhere, in any publication.
10 stars, maybe.
Probably 10.
How do you feel about Marge Simpson dying?
I didn't know.
They literally killed her off.
It's got to be some kind of a gimmick.
No.
Either that or Julie Kavner said she ain't coming to work no more.
From like, this is like a major story. I know it's not pro wrestling, but this is a major story, and we're talking about the past. And the Simpsons been around for 30 years, so I think it kind of correlates. It's part of our childhood, Vet. Do you remember the first time you bought yourself? Did you wear a Simpsons shirt, a Bartman shirt, anything?
Yeah, I think so.
I could see Vet with his oversized jorts, maybe some ankle socks.
Don't have a cow, man.
Reebok pumps, perhaps, with his Bartman t-shirt. Rest in peace. Yeah, Marge is dead. Google it, guys. You can discuss. Marge Simpson is dead. She has been killed off for real. And people are like, what the fuck is going on? 1992, the Barbarian and Dick Slater would become the last WCW United States Tag Team Championships when they defeated the Fabulous Freebirds, that being Jimmy Garvin and Michael Hayes, at a WCW main event taping in Kansas City, Missouri. The titles would be retired at the end of July 1992. Now, Vet, I got to tell you something. I was always a fan of the U.S. titles in the NWA. I loved the, I call it the Lex Luger title, or maybe the Nikita Koloff title with the round plates on the side. I think it's a beautiful title. They had so many fucking tag teams back then. You had to have a secondary, a secondary belt, I guess. They had secondary third belts. They had Florida Championship tag teams, all this shit. But, yeah, man, were you more of a fan? Like, did you like the Jimmy Garvin Freebirds? Did you like the Freebirds at all? Like, were you a fan at all of the Freebirds?
I mean, I had to catch up on the Freebirds after the fact because I didn't watch them growing up. So in what I saw, I definitely preferred the original Buddy, Jimmy, Buddy, Terry, and Michael.
Okay, yeah, I kind of like the original Backstreet Line of GA.
Like many things in the early '90s, the Michael and Jimmy version was just a weird, sad. You're just naming it this, and it's not even close to.
It's like the Newhart Foundation.
Yeah, except not as cool as that.
Those hammer pants were over, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, I forgot something, Vet. 1976. I missed this one. I don't know why I skipped it by mistake, but I apologize. The year that I was born, 1976, WWF Showdown at Shea took place at Shitty Shea Stadium, the home of the hapless, disgusting, and putrid New York Mets that are just basically the worst team in all of baseball. And they spent $1 million on a fat Dominican guy that doesn't play the outfield and only hits 240. But neither here nor there. In the main event, Antonio Inoki and Muhammad Ali fought to a draw in a boxer versus wrestler match shown in front of 32,000 fans via closed-circuit television from Tokyo, Japan. Bruno Sammartino retained the WWF World Heavyweight title against Stan the Lariat Hansen by countout, and Andre the Giant defeated Chuck Webner. He was still wrestling then. Chuck Webner by countout in a second boxer versus wrestler match on a card. Vet, so much to unpack here. How did I miss this? Vet, again, you were live there. You saw Andre being slammed by a boxer. Your thoughts? Antonio Inoki.
Yeah, I mean, he killed the
shit.
business.
That was terrible.
That's where it all started going downhill. Now we got Slim Jim tables.
Oof, I would have put Andre in there with a young Andre in there with Muhammad Ali. See how that worked out. Maybe Gorilla. Remember when Gorilla Monsoon picked up Muhammad Ali and gave him the airplane spin?
Mm-hmm.
I was there live.
You were there
No, I
live.
wasn't. No, I wasn't.
You weren't there.
I wasn't even born, I don't think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, pretty
thoughts?
famous card. I mean, people don't really talk about the undercard very much, but obviously the Inoki and Ali thing was huge. It must have been very intense, in the moment, in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Because we only know now that the match sucked and nothing happened in it, except that, Muhammad Ali had blood clots and probably forced early retirement as well as many other things.
Clot. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but everybody must have been tense the entire match because they must have thought, oh, something might happen any second. Any second now, somebody's going to do something.
Nothing happened. A lot of leg kicks.
That's what happens when you can't agree to work.
They should have.
It was supposed to be a work, but then once it got closer to it, like the camps could not agree on like who was going to work what, how, and lose. So They just said, "All right, see you out there, kid." Basically, was the result.
I would have booked it as a double knockout.
I mean,
Like Inoki going up for his fucking, what do you call it? The ghetto blaster. What did he call it? What did he call it? It's the kick behind the head. Anyway, his finisher. But at the same time, somehow Muhammad Ali landing a right hook, and they just both get knocked out. And you can see both camps running into the ring. And I don't know, what am I doing? What am I fucking booking something from 1976?
It's too late.
I wasn't even born yet. Let's go to 1990, vet. The Legion of Doom. You may have heard of them. Oh, what a rush. Hawk and Animal made their WWF television debut in a squash match taping for WWF Superstars in Dayton, Ohio. When you first, when Legion of Doom, vet, now I know you were a huge fan of Demolition, but when Legion of Doom finally made their way onto TV, number one, I got to ask you, did you know who they were? I'm asking you this for a reason. And were you excited to see them on WWF television?
This was in my dark period where I tuned out. So while I was aware that they had joined the WWF, I was not watching weekly televisions nor pay-per-views in this sort of 90, somewhere in 92 to somewhere in 94-ish window. I completely hazy. And then in 95, it was full time after. But but the Road Warriors were one of those teams that were so over that you would see them even if you didn't. You'd be like, well, why aren't you? When you were a kid, if you only watched the WWF like me and you were a kid, when you saw the Road Warriors, you would say, why aren't these wrestlers in the WWF?
Right.
You would think that immediately, but everybody seen those pictures, whether it was like the cover of the WCW Nintendo games or in the After magazines or anybody, you saw those guys with the face paint and the spikes. And you were like, who are those guys and why aren't they in the WWF? Now, if you were watching NWA and all that stuff, you were very familiar with who they were. So yeah, I did think it was a big deal when they came in, even though I wasn't watching full time, but I also, kind of at the time, maybe subconsciously and definitely in hindsight, is able to say like, it's a little too late and you kind of didn't do anything with them.
That's true. That's true. I mean, they did win the titles, I think, twice.
Yeah, but
right?
like, what did the tag team titles mean in that era?
If they would have came in, vet, when the Powers of Pain and Demolition, Axe and Smash, because they came in when it was freaking, what's his name? Fucking Crush, you know, when he was one of the Demolition members. It wasn't the same, like you said. But if they came in then, and maybe kept the Brain Busters, I mean, what a tag team division that would have been back in the day. Can you imagine that, man?
Oh, it would have been great. Apparently, yeah, it would have just been the NWA, wouldn't it? Apparently, the reason that
to be fair,
the reason that the Powers of Pain went to the WWF is because they didn't want to do a job to the Road Warriors.
Road Warriors, right? They were good.
So it would have been funny if the Road Warriors just followed him, like, "Oh, you're gonna do a job.
You're gonna do the job, bitches." Yeah, I could see that. Speaking of doing the job, we had Terry Funk who got defeated by Sabu in 1994 in the main event of ECW, and it's the Yonkers show. We had Tommy Dreamer on the card. Tommy Cairo. What the fuck is Tommy Cairo? Defeated the Sandman, a Singapore Cane match. I don't know who that is. Anyway, let's go to tonight. We have a lot, so I'm just going to fast forward through some of this stuff. 1995, we had the King of the Ring. Let me see who won.
King
this
Mabel.
one. King fucking Mabel won that one.
And when you guys were sounding like a bunch of ignorant fucks trying to be like, did the winner of the King of Ring usually get a shot at SummerSlam? Yes. So they fucking did, and this was one of the ones. And the funniest part of it was in SummerSlam 95, because it was Mabel versus Diesel. And the funniest part of this whole match, if you can call it a match, was, and I reference this to this day, is Mabel just throws his arms up in the middle of the ring and says, "I'm going to be the first black champion." And then boos just rain down on him. Like that was the worst possible thing that he could have said to get heat.
So
just
racist.
being a black champion. Yeah.
So racist. Well, let's fast forward to a less racist time. Let's go to the year 2000, Vet. King of the Ring also. The Rock pinned Mr. McMahon during a 6-man tag team match to win his 4th WWF championship in the main event of the... What happened?
May I remind you, Vince
Boston.
Russo was not in the company at the time.
Wasn't Vince's fault. Well, not that Vince, the other Vince. It was in Boston, Massachusetts. The stipulation of the main event was that Triple H's WWF title was on the line if any of the opposing teams, so on and so forth. The Undertaker, Kane, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we already know that. Kurt Angle defeated Rikishi that night. What else? Who else we had on the card? So Kurt Angle became King of the Ring? Is that what it is? Yeah, in the finals. Yeah. I don't remember Kurt being king.
King Kurt?
King Kurt.
King Curtis?
Should have been bigger. I don't know. Anyway, Kurt would have. See, why do I not remember this run? Kurt Angle is possibly one of the best character wrestlers. Like,
Also, he's your favorite.
he's my favorite of all fucking time. Weird. 2001, we have Rhino defeated Test for the WWF Hardcore Championship. On the same night, let me see. Awesome became the. Oh, I'm sorry. Mike Awesome. Wait, what? But would lose the. Oh, moments later, Mike Awesome. Awesome would become the first WCW competitor to win a WWF Championship during the Invasion angle, which was the shits, to say the least. 2002, WCW is dead, and at a SmackDown taping in Chicago, Illinois, John Cena, you may have heard of this guy, made his official television debut answering Kurt Angle's challenge, and he would say, "I have ruthless aggression," right? And it's, I don't know what it is. Then he was later endorsed by The Undertaker backstage with an awkward handshake into a fucking bro shake. Vet, I agreed with you on my review of Monday Night Raw with Jimmy T, which is available right now on YouTube, that this John Cena promo this past week was more or less the shit. It was just a rehash of something that was done before. Several things could have been done better, like CM Punk maybe taking a powder, like rolling out slowly and having maybe the referees check on him, the doctors, while John Cena's
No,
cutting
he
his
should have.
fucking promo.
He should. What they should have done is he should have just slowly crawled over to John repeatedly, and John had to keep
kick him down.
getting down off the thing and like just kicking him with those weak
Yeah.
little kicks that he does.
There you go. There you go. Give him a 5 knuckle.
Like as soon as he sees, like, you guys don't even know how awesome I am. I would have John Cena. I would have John Cena, like, as he's sitting there talking and he sees Punk starting to move again, he starts like pumping up the sneaker, and then he just goes down and throws the absolute shittiest kicks you've ever seen. Like every time you watch John Cena stomp somebody out now, just watch how shitty he does it and just laugh at it. And if he just kept doing that and then CM Punk would just sell it, CM Punk could be selling those kicks like Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan at another SummerSlam, that would have been good. That's an easy way to deal with it.
Yeah. Well, it sucked. But
It sucked.
But how iconic was that moment between Kurt and John Cena?
It was, John Cena's corny today, and he was corny then. He's always been corny.
Was it you that said that when John Cena cuts a promo, he turns into Big E?
Yeah.
That
I
was
said that
fucking,
like, yes, I said that
was-
last on the wreckage, I think.
I don't suck on your balls like Jimmy does, brother. But let me tell you something, brother. I was like, he is correct. The vet is right on this one. And the more I thought about it, the more you're right. Because when John Cena fires up, he turns into a Baptist preacher.
Yeah, he did it even longer and before Big E was in the company. I just used Big E's name because I knew that people would know what I was talking about. But Pastor Cena has been a thing since basically 2007, 6, 7.
Good Lord. Well, speaking of 2006 and 7, let's go to 2006. Shawn Michaels and Triple H officially reunited the Generation X. At the time, nobody cares. 2008, the Ultimate Warrior took part in his first professional wrestling match in 9 years when he picked up a win over, do you know? Do you know? You don't know. Orlando Jordynne in Barcelona, Spain.
The hell?
This
They have
was-
wrestling there?
Yeah, it was called New with the NU, so it's cool. New Wrestling Evolution. He won the heavyweight championship. And then the Warrior vacated the title and would never wrestle again. So I watched that match. If you want to see the Ultimate Warrior blown up as an old man, watch this match. It was just fucking terrible. 2009, Tyra defeated Angelica Love. I'm sorry. Whatever. Angelina Love. It's not Angelica Love.
Did they write
Love.
Angelica?
They wrote Angelica Love. I'm like, no, it's Angelina Love.
This damn website, TJR or whatever it is.
To win the TNA Knockouts Championship, man, Tyra's so good. She was so good, man. And what was her name in the WWF again?
Victoria.
Victoria. Just
It's one of my favorite people I ever met in wrestling. The nicest person in the world.
Just a beautiful, strong, talented woman that just didn't get what she earned, man. She was so good. Anyway, were you saying you met her?
Yes.
Did you date her?
No.
Damn. Why not?
Yeah.
Did you flirt a little bit? Come on.
No.
Yeah.
No. Well, she had a pizza place in Louisville called Fat Tony's Pizza.
What's up, Sonic?
And
Sonic's here.
And I went, and we went there to get a pizza there, and she was talking to us, and then the pizza was ready, and then we were just talking, and and the pizza got cold, so she took the pizza and put it back in the oven while she talked to us for a little while longer, and then, yeah, just super nice.
I'll be like, can you sign my pizza? No. Were you wrestling?
This pizza's a fake.
It's a fake. It's not real pizza. This pizza came out 3 days ago. Take the pizza.
There's no way
please.
you could have cooked this in this amount of time.
It's fake. You could tell the sausage. This is synthetic. Get out of here. You and your fake pizza. 2013, Christian and Jimmy and Jay Uso defeated. 2013. I want you to think about how long ago that was. Jimmy and Jay Uso defeated The Shield, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns in the main event of SmackDown.
What? Was this
Christian, Jimmy
dark
and Jay
match?
Uso. That was the main event, bro.
The Shield didn't lose. That was their whole thing.
No, they lost there. Right there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, how did this happen?
I don't know, man.
They must have struck this from the record.
Well, 11 years ago, Vet, in 2014, at a TNA taping in Orlando, Florida, Bobby Lashley pinned Jeff Hardy to retain the TNA Heavyweight Championship. This was during Bobby's, run. No? 2015, some dude named Ethan Carter III, EC3, defeated Kurt Angle. You may have heard of him at a TNA Impact Wrestling taping and for the TNA Heavyweight. So EC3 defeated Kurt Angle for the TNA title. I know you're a big EC3 fan, Vet. Any thoughts on this? We're almost done.
Don't really remember it. I knew that EC3 won the title at some point. I forgot when and against who and everything. It was a great idea for a gimmick, and it never really... Like, the WWE was stupid to not play it up. Especially when there would have been no problem doing it.
They have him call his aunt on the phone or bring her in for like a spot here and there. Why not? Right.
Yes.
I think me and Ben were talking about that shit on the Impact Rebellion. Anyway. EC3. 2017, there was some indie show. 2017, we end up here. This is it with Matt Riddle retaining the WWN title against Keith Lee in the main event of Evolve 87 in Woolside, New York. Bet you're a big fan of going to Woolside. What do you think of the venue?
That's all. Man.
I hear you.
A big fan of Keith Lee, though. Hope we see him again at some point.
Probably not. He's done. Speaking of done, we'll speak about a wrestler who's probably done with the company coming up as we review NXT. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go through a couple of birthdays. And when I mean a couple, it's just two. You can wish a happy birthday, born in 1958, June 25th, Phil Damian Demento Thies. And then finally, born in 1977, my son's first kiss, born in 1970, Layla. The beautiful, she's like one of my ultimate wrestling crushes. Layla. Have you run into her, Vet? Did you?
No, but I know her husband pretty well. Or at least, I don't know if they're still married.
Well, let's find out. Bring them in. And then bring Layla in. Hopefully in a tank top. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was this day in professional wrestling history. Oh, yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we jump back into the time machine. It is the year 2025. And we are discussing NXT. Why is this not turning off? All right, guys. You know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for WWE NXT, June 24th, 2025. A TNA title being defended on NXT again. And we walk. Yeah. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen. In the main event of this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we got Trick Daddy. Oh, wait, no, it's the opening match. Oh, fuck. Why did they do that? Doesn't matter. TNA on NXT. And we are here. But we're back. Time machine. Professor, if you can fuel that one up for next week, I'd appreciate it. And there we go, Vet. That's all we got. Let's do this. Record time.
I think the best part, we're going to get it out of the way right at the beginning, because what we have here is Lash Legend, Izzi Dame, Jaida Parker, Jordynne Grace doing the old school, like, short wrestling promo, but they got their logo in the background.
Loved it. I did love it. I'm not even.
How nostalgic,
facetious.
you know?
I thought it was great. Very Saturday night's main event, very superstar. I loved it. They should do this shit every week and then just not have them cut any promos during the show. Or they should go back to the little windows. Remember the little windows in the corner? The little 60-second promos. You know, you got Slick over here putting over the Warlord and how he's going to beat Hulk Hogan for the WWF Championship, and then you believe it. Loved it. I thought this was a nice way to kick the show off.
Yeah, so a thumbs up there. It's pretty much all downhill after this. So we do get, as you said, we do get Josh Briggs versus... Okay, yeah. Your iPhone does this.
I forget that shit happens. Okay, I'm sorry. Does this work too? No, right? This is... Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, it should work with a variety of different things. How did the fireworks, like, how does... Okay, yeah, you get the confetti. There's fireworks. How do you do the fireworks?
This?
What would a firework be? I know it was something that it wasn't intuitive.
Well, anyway, with that being said, Vet, I don't even have to do that because I actually can control them. That's lasers. It's not fire. This is fireworks. I have a green screen, so it's not going to work as well. But this one works pretty good.
That's us watching NXT.
Right. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so back to it. It's Josh Briggs versus Trick Williams for the Trick NA title. You know, whatever. They did good. I don't care about the match. Let's talk about a couple other things.
Okay.
Let's talk about Trick Williams first.
Okay.
Trick Williams as a heel has found a swagger that he did not previously have. But then again, maybe he did have, but just because the nature of... Maybe he was like comic relief to Carmelo Hayes, more so than like a serious personality. But for whatever reason, I think the heel Trick is clicking better. So even though he still makes mistakes in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
But he also has, like, he's carrying the swagger with him in the ring.
He's becoming
Whereas
a baby
before,
face. He's becoming
before he would make mistakes and have no charisma in the ring. Like, all his charisma was just being big and being loud.
Talk about it.
And then he would get in the ring and he would look green, right? So now he looks like he's experienced in the ring. He's got the swagger, He's got all that stuff. He just needs to polish up his mechanics and especially his timing.
Jack Swagger.
His timing is absolutely the worst thing about him now, but it's still decent. So he just needs to get it to main event level, and then he can be a real big star that the company will trust to put him in there with a variety of different people. But right now, he just needs a little bit. He's almost finely tuned. He just needs a little bit. He's got the hardest parts taken care of. Now he just needs the repetitions, and these guys just don't work enough. Maybe that's why they wanted him to be the guy to hold the TNA title, because they know that would give him more opportunities to work, which is what he needs.
That's
right.
good.
Like Ethan Page, like you could have, for example, if you could have had Ethan Page do it, but Ethan Page doesn't need that. Right. Like he's already topped out. Ethan Page is topped out where he's at. He'll never be any better than he is. He'll never be.
He's great.
No, he's at his ceiling, and that's it.
Which is awesome. Right.
It's not that awesome.
It's great.
But I'm just saying he wouldn't learn anything being TNA champion, but Trick is getting valuable experience, and that's carrying over. So he's working with different kind of people. Josh Briggs is pretty much there. I don't know what else I could, like, if I was in developmental with Josh Briggs and I had to like give him a talent evaluation, I couldn't tell you why to keep him there any longer. I just, it's time to do something with him. And if Yoshi is ready, which he probably is, I think Yoshi's definitely seasoned. So if you want to bring them up, we need another tag team that doesn't suck ass. What we also need is for WWE to start caring about their tag teams more than they have. So that's a big, long way of saying that, like, I'm proud of Trick, even though this match didn't really matter. But one little thing I will just say for everybody. This is the vet corner here. The spot when you are defeated by a guy, basically, and then you grab the rope, you know that spot?
Defeated,
you know, like it's like you hit somebody with a finisher and it's 1-2, and then you reach out and grab the rope.
Yes.
Okay, that's basically just kicking out. So don't do that. Like if you could grab the rope, you could just get your shoulder up. So don't grab the rope. These are the times where you would have the foot underneath the rope.
The rope was pretty far too, to be fair.
Right. And so not only were you not positioned close enough, but like I said, this should be, if you're going to do the spot where the guy hits you with this finish and you just barely survive, that's where the foot is underneath the rope. So it's like you didn't actually put it there. You know, it's just that the ref saw that your foot was under the rope at the last second and you got lucky and it saved you. That's the heat of the spot. If you're just awake and aware enough to just reach out and grab the rope, then why didn't you just kick out then? Apparently you weren't hurt enough. So what's the difference is my psychology on that. That's a little vet corner for everybody. I'd just like everybody to kind of be aware of little details like that. Yeah, so you already know that if they're pinned near the ropes, just everybody's body language in those situations, like Sonic is saying, you already know what the spot's going to be.
Right.
So sometimes you can switch it up by being controversial. Like the ref might count to 3 and then see the foot was under the rope and be like, oh no, or something, you know. I don't like that either for different reasons, but I'm just saying as an example.
That's fair.
Any spot you do like that, especially with a guy as long as Trick, he can reach from a lot of places that aren't like right next to the rope. So do the foot under the rope spot, please.
Okay. I guess the only thing, and I can't add much, I think was perfectly assessed by you, is just that it was a really good match between the two guys. Josh Briggs, you said, I don't know why to keep him. I think making, like you said, just having him with his Japanese tag team partner become an actual tag team and like just have their run. I like that. And I thought that Josh Briggs did a really good job. Now, the only thing is that Josh Briggs wore something on his face. Whenever the crowd, right? The crowd there vehemently was not rooting for Josh Briggs. They were really rooting for Trick Williams. And something I noticed there during this match, Trick Williams began to wrestle more like a baby face pandering to the crowd, doing remember the little handstand thing he did, laughing with the crowd and stuff like that. And this is where I felt that maybe perhaps Josh Briggs should have read the room and kind of just worked as more of a heel. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? There were times that he would fire up and go, yeah, and then look around like, nobody's cheering for me. Like, what the fuck? And you could kind of see it on his face, like, shit, like he knows he's not over with this crowd. But when you're in the ring with fucking Trick Williams, you told the example of how he's now come into his own with the charisma and all this
right
stuff.
And to your point, how do you be a babyface in 2025?
You become a heel, and Trick Williams has done an excellent job at it. So all in all, to wrap this up, I guess on my part, I thought this was a damn good way to start the show. Could have been the main event. It was just as good as the main event was. And I thought this was a really, really good showing for not only Trick Williams. I thought Josh Briggs really showed his ass out this week and did a lot of cool stuff, man. And I think there is money in him. I just don't know exactly. Maybe it is the tag team route. Do you see him ever going above that at all? Like, does he have a shot at being a singles guy and maybe getting over eventually? It's tough, right? With him?
It's not so much him, it's the landscape.
He's putting in the work.
Where do you slot? Yeah, I know, but like, where do you slot him in if you look at Raw and SmackDown, everybody's already crowded in there, and people are already not getting enough TV time. Then where are you going to put a Josh Briggs right now? And that could be the main reason why he's still in NXT, because they don't know what to do with him either. So it's kind of like, I don't know.
Would you send him on excursion to TNA?
I mean, yeah, I could. TNA sucks, so they could use a Josh Briggs,
right?
But it can't. TNA also can't just be like refugee camp.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
Like TNA has to have their own identity, but then the problem is when they bring in fresh faces, they suck. They're really bad. Like, you should have left these where you found them type people. Except for those two girls from the UK that they brought in, everybody else has been ass.
Iconics?
No, They're from Australia.
Oh,
it's the non-existent fake UK.
What do they call the TNA? Not the Iconics. What do they call?
Inspiration.
Inspiration. Okay, I always like those girls. So I know,
yeah, they're good, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones like you've never seen before. You know, like, I'm not talking about when they bring in people from other places. I'm talking about like when they try to bring in new talent. It's like, yeah, this is why you've never seen these people. But anyways, so just for the record, Josh Briggs misses a moonsault, and then Trick hits a trick shot. Mm-hmm. Then he proceeds to get on the mic and try to cut a promo. Then they start playing Joe Hendry's music, and he's like, come on, Joe Hendry, you son of a bitch, I'm ready for you. But Joe Hendry's behind him. It was behind him all along.
Oh, he said his name.
Yeah, he kicked his ass, and then Trick ran away.
Fans didn't know what to do because they love Trick Williams so much. I felt like they didn't want to cheer Joe Hendry, but they had to. It was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah, Trick is in an interesting spot, because if you were really experienced, mm-hmm. and I don't know, and again, I cannot put blame on Trick because I don't know what the office is telling him. Like, I don't know what directions he's getting. I don't know who has told him, like, who's laid out whatever path they're going down for him. But just in a vacuum, in a situation where you are supposed to be a heel and the crowd are cheering you, right? You have to turn them. Are you reading Sonic's comment, or are you listening to what I'm saying?
No, I'm looking at you.
Okay.
So if I look down here, I'm looking at the screen. If I look up here, I'm looking at you.
So it's up to you to turn them as a heel. You should not just bask in their glory, you know? Another Keith Lee reference.
Right.
But I don't think he knows how. So, and even if he does know how somehow, which I don't know how he would know how, but even if he does know, he could have been told not to do that. Just do what you do. Just be just be flamboyant, and the people, like, maybe it's like they're out of touch. Like, they think that Trick being a flamboyant black man is going to get heat because they're old white men and they don't understand wrestling anymore. Like, maybe that's what they think. Or maybe they want Trick to be a babyface because he's the TNA champion and fuck TNA, right? Like,
Right.
whatever. I don't know what he's actually being instructed to do.
It's weird. It's weird. It's very, very weird. But we spent a lot of time on that one, but it's worth it.
Don't worry, we don't have much to spend on any of the rest of it. So,
Okay.
No Quarter Catch Crew, earlier in the day, they're talking about, well, Tavion, if you're not cleared, I, Charlie Dempsey, could take your place tonight. And he's like, well, guess what? I have a mask. So I have one of the Green Hornet Kato masks, so I'm cleared. It's cool. I got a mask.
Man, if you like the vet hate hair brushing, you're gonna hate this match because this was mask brushing the entire match.
Okay. Miles Bourne is hanging out with some, I assume these are college athletes because one of them was holding a football.
They both play for Florida State.
All right.
Florida.
Now Florida State, if I'm not mistaken, they are the ones who invented the tomahawk chop that the Atlanta Braves stole.
I'm talking about the
right?
Gators, the Florida Gators, not Florida State. Florida State is the Seminoles. Florida, they play with Florida.
Oh, so the Florida Gators, they're the ones that invented Gatorade the drink.
Right. We called it Gatorade. You ever heard the commercial?
Of course.
And the guy goes, "We called it Gatorade."
All right. So if you never knew why Gatorade was called Gatorade, it's engineered by Florida University scientists.
Gatorade.
Anyway, Pillman Jr. has a problem with this hobnobbing, and he's like, hey, you guys shut up over here.
This was terrible. Just
all right,
enough.
moving
enough.
on. Jada,
Sorry, bro.
Jada Parker is pacing around.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we get the Marco G versus Tavion Heights. Hairbrushing?
Bro, the dude's like, just don't let the kid wrestle. If it's a legit injury, which it was, he got stitches over his lip. But give him a Band-Aid or something. Don't make him wear that fucking goofy mask. The kid couldn't see half the match. He must have fucked with that mask like 90% of the goddamn match. And I couldn't take it anymore. It was getting me so angry. And I'm like, Vet must hate this. So now you're here. I'm going to ask you, did you hate him with the mask? Like moving it and flipping it and sticking it and turning it? And
Oh, I wasn't paying attention, but if I was, I'm sure I would have.
But I'll say this: the more I see, all I'm gonna say about the match is Javon Evans. You know what you're gonna get. He's awesome. But when I see Tavion Heights, bro, I'm saying it again and again and again. Whether he's talking in the back, whether he's in the ring, that kid has it. That kid, I hope they don't fuck him up. Let him develop. Let him spend time down there. Send him to fucking TNA if you want to. Whatever you got to do. Send him to Japan. Well, he went to Japan already. He is so fucking good at wrestling, at professional wrestling. That's a kid that, man, like God, man. If I could take anyone from the anyone from the NXT roster right now and say this is my protege. I mean, I'm not gonna do it, but like, I would take that kid. I'm like, all right, come on, kid. Let's take it. I think that kid has everything he needs to become a champion, like a WWE champion. That kid is good, man. That boy good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Tavion Heights. He's so good, man. I really hope he doesn't get injured or that they put some stupid gimmick on him. Keep him as that wrestler. Keep him as that guy. Dude,
they're gonna be like, you know what? That mask looks good on you.
Oh God, they call him the Black Hornet or something stupid. God, kill me. No, don't kill me, not yet. But right. My Lord, what a talent that kid is, man. Just remember, I said it, man. The kid's gonna be. I'm telling you, he's gonna be a star. I hope. I know it. I know that kid's gonna be a star, man. He's so good. I like him a lot, man.
Yes. Now, as for Javon Evans, he's definitely in a hole with me because Ricochet buried him so badly a couple weeks ago that he's going to spend a good portion of his career making it back up to me. But he can jump. That's one thing he can do. He can jump. And he finishes this match with his patented corkscrew splash.
Have you ever seen anybody hit that shit more perfectly, though?
Well, no one's ever tried it, so no, I never did.
No one's ever tried that before?
I never seen them move quite like that. I've seen people do the tornillos and stuff and just land on people on the floor.
That's what yeah.
And I've seen, people do frog splashes. Like, RVD and Eddie Guerrero would change direction midair, like no matter where the person was laying, so that they would land across. But I've never seen a guy do like the tornado just straight off the top and then end in a splash. So he's doing good at that.
Perfect.
So he definitely's got the jump. But you know who else can jump? Ooh. Jasper Troy, because he jumped young OG right after this match.
Love that.
He's just furious, and he's got a chain, and he's angry.
That's a big son bitch though, bro. Like that's another guy that it's very hard to fuck somebody up like that. You know, but
I'm just tired of all this. Like, if you read the results, if you guys ever want to just be sad, which sometimes it's okay to have a good cry, you know, like LA Knight says. So if you ever want to do that, but you're not really particularly sad about anything, go to any website that posts the results of like wrestling shows and just read the recaps of all the matches and how many times they write so-and-so jumped so-and-so after the match, so-and-so came out to make the save. If you take a shot every time you read that, you will die of liver poisoning on any given week. I promise you. So I'm just tired of shit like this happening. Why couldn't Javon just go backstage and like have somebody waiting for an interview for him? Like, hey, you just won. What's next for you? Because quite frankly, we need to know that. This guy was in contention for the title, and now he's just out here wrestling Tavion Heights for no reason. So someone should be wanting to ask Javon Evans what he's got his eyes on next. So if he goes backstage and then Jasper Troy just happens to be backstage sitting around like he's supposed to, and then if Javon Evans just bumps into him or crosses his path or something and just gets knocked the fuck down by this guy who's just like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's something. But having a guy just show up and jump somebody out in the ring, it's corny. It's tired. You guys have no idea how many times this happens on any given wrestling show on any given week. It's boring. It's boring now. We are bored with run-ins and assaults, post-match assaults.
Well, speaking of being bored, the next segment.
Well, we get a Family Matters package. That's definitely boring. But actually, no, even this wasn't boring, because first you're sitting there watching this Italian bullshit, right? And you're just like, oh my God. But then they go to they want to, in the package, they're getting ready to go to the portion where these two guys are social media-ing at each other, right? On X. Yeah. But they accidentally put Ava's post about Noam Dar being injured. They slot that in like for a couple of frames accidentally right before they get to like the Tony D and Stax X promos or whatever, right? They accidentally put Ava's thing about Noam Dar right there.
Yes.
You fucked up. I may not pay attention to Tavion Heights' matches and his hairbrushing, but I fucking saw you, motherfuckers. I saw you. Vet does pay attention when he feels like it, and when he does, he's not going to let you hear the end of it. Okay? You fucked up.
There were a couple of microphone issues and stuff this week.
Yeah. Well, there was another one. I forget exactly when it is. So, yeah, was that the Obafemi?
It was the Obafemi.
It was the Obafemi. How dare you do that to the ruler?
Oh my Lord!
Can't even get a working mic when the ruler's in the ring. This place a joke. We need to talk after this show's over.
Sure, you got it, brother.
So yeah, oops, Noam Dar, not related to the Italians, but anyways, yeah. All right, now we get Ricky Saints. He's cleared. You don't need a throat to wrestle, but he's cleared. Yeah, he's cleared. Versus Ashante the Adonis. Mm-hmm. And Ray, I have to just say something right now, because again, who cares about this match? Adonistly, Ashante the Adonis, Tahuti Miles, however you know him, this guy is actually, it's funny that this is the match, because he's better in literally every metric than Ricky Starks has ever been and will ever be, but he's just not going to get the push. He's not going to get the recognition. He's better looking. He's more in shape. He's a better worker. He's probably a better promo. if you ever let him talk.
Yeah.
He doesn't do the same style of promo that Ricky Starks does, which is fake rock, but he still does a good promo for what he wants to do. He's got just everything about this kid that I've been watching ever since the Cruiserweight Division 205 Live and stuff is like, yeah, there's something with this guy. And then you bring in Ricky Starks and he's just like, yeah.
Here's the problem, though. He's like 5'9", if that.
A lot of people are 5'9".
I know.
Chris Jericho's 5'9".
He wears lips in his shoes.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Hold on. I don't know where it is.
This is dead air. I'm just gonna let the air be dead while you try to look for the drop.
Oh. Oh, you know what? That's why I wasn't playing. Hold on.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Sorry, I had the volume down because I was testing the internet, and
Okay.
still not up. We're still operating.
Yeah.
On my T-Mobile hotspot. This show is brought to you by T-Mobile.
We've had worse shows with your house Wi-Fi. So thanks, T-Mobile.
This is the
T-Mobile
5G.
ain't no joke.
This is some good shit. It's good shit, pal. Yeah. Anyway.
So anyway, yes. Now that we've, you don't disagree with anything I said about.
Not at all.
Okay.
I really like Shanta the Adonis. So much so that it made me disinterested in Ricky Saints during this match, if that made any sense. I thought it was just me. I was like, why am I not more interested in Ricky Starks? You know,
he just no.
It's because
and he didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't trying to outshine. He knew his role, but he's just such a good worker, not spot guy, not, wrestler. He's a good worker. And he did his job. But to people like us with trained eyes, we're like, damn, the kid's good. And then to all the marks are probably like, man, Ricky Saints had a good match. Like, so, but here's another question. Speaking of working, who is this worker ass looking ref?
Yo,
she looked like
she was a fine little thing, wasn't she?
Yes. I'm like, you're a wrestler. What are you doing here? Who are you? You are basically just Candice LeRae or something. Why are you in a referee shirt?
I don't know. Let me see. NXT.
You guys know what I'm talking about out there?
She has the Gucci belt. Oh my God. I just literally typed in NXT referees. I just got to show you this, guys, on the screen. And look who comes up. It's her with the Gucci belt. So it says here, Victoria Del Rico is a new referee for NXT. She was hired by WWE after participating in a tryout during WrestleMania week in Philadelphia. She has a background in boxing. What? She joins NXT, the other NXT referees. Who is this young lady?
Who is this? See, look at that. Like, does that look like a referee to anybody? Look at even her hair. What kind of referee hair is that?
I'm gonna stop.
You're supposed to use the boring ponytail.
Hold on, dude. Why not? This is what we do here. Let me see if I don't know if this is her. Holy mackerel. This is her. She's a fucking smoke show.
Yeah, what do you mean, referee? Yeah, Sonic, I'm gatekeep. Look at her. Are you watching the show? What the hell is she doing in a ref shirt?
I'm not getting the best here, guys, because holy mackerel. What?
She looks like a prostitute.
Well, a high end.
Those black guys only talk to her because she looks like a total prostitute, okay?
Oh, my God. Dude, she is adorbs. Look at this.
What are you doing?
Vet,
why are you counting pins?
What the? Maybe she's not that good a wrestler.
Still. Well, you're probably not that good a referee either. Why are you...
Bro, she's
why don't you hold a mic?
Maybe she sucks at talking. Let me see her.
Just hold the mic.
I just want to see her.
All those interviewers suck at talking. Sarah Schreiber sucks at talking.
Bro, she has a legit boxing background. Are you shitting me?
Like, hey, make sure to, really rotate your hips and stuff when you slap that mat.
Good Lord. Look. All right, last one. I'm sorry, folks. This is just shocking me. I'm bugging because I'm like, yo, that I noticed her too. She stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yes.
But a sexy sore thumb.
It was the hair. Because if she had like bunned it up, you would still been like, hey, she's a pretty girl, not normally like referee sized or shaped.
Mm-hmm.
But you wouldn't have thought as much. It wouldn't have been as noticeable. But the way she has her like little twin tail things on the top and doesn't tie her hair up in any way, it's like it screams wrestler.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. Anyway,
this is why you're the best in the world, Vet. You noticed that. I noticed that. You know, I'm best in the world at Jace. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Can I get the rub? Okay.
Yeah, you can have some.
Thank you.
She can count the Rochambeau. That's all she needs to do. She counts the 1, 2, 3 after Rochambeau on Ashante, and then Ethan Page is on the screen. And yes, before he's able to, he says like one thing, and then all of a sudden Ethan Page is in the ring and he attacks. Didn't we literally just see this with Joe Hendry?
No, this is different because the video got distorted.
Ah.
Like,
You think that was a Dark State thing?
I gotta say something about Dark State. Just go.
Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah, a Rochambeau to Ricky Saints. How insulting. Mm-hmm. He hit the man with his own finisher. My God.
Oh no.
Of all the things he's done, this is clearly the worst. It's worse than the twisted grin to Javon Evans, where he had to be all like, do-do-do, do-do-do, and this is worse than the time he attacked Ricky Saints and he had to have throat surgery. Now he's just embarrassed him by using his finishing wrestling move on him in the ring.
How dare he?
We got to talk after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually at Dark State. Progressive presents
all right.
the terrorist hooligans. So go to Dark State for all your terrorism and go to Progressive for all of your insurance needs.
And T-Mobile if you need to stream.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something, bro. You got to get rid of the white guy. I'm sorry. Get rid of the fucking white dude. And this is not a thing of race. It's just you have all these really good-looking, well-built, actually pretty damn charismatic, men of color. I'll say like this, you know what I'm saying? I think one of them is like part Puerto Rican or whatever the fuck he is. But they're all like, yeah, we're going to fuck you up, motherfucker. And then the white guy's like, yeah, and I'm going to dominate you in my next match, and I will be triumphant. Ain't that right? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to fuck you up. What the fuck? It threw me off. Did you not felt thrown off? Like, everybody's cutting a fucking fire promo, and then fucking Josh is standing over here like, yeah, so I'm going to get a latte first, guys. What do you want? Like, shut the fuck up.
I'm thinking of asking out that new referee.
Oh, Lord. That guy stinks. I get it. You called them Dark State, and to remove the white guy kind of makes it what it is. Make it what it is. Jump the white guy out. Please, for the love of freaking anything, get rid of the white guy. He doesn't fit. He sucks. And he doesn't even wrestle. He really never matches. So
he's so bad the one time he was in there, they didn't let him back in after that.
God, dude, seriously. My God. What does this say? What does that say?
Yeah, I think he's referring to the...
Yes, that's when you're trying to get a loan in the bank. I have a copy of my portfolio here if you'd like to. Shut the fuck up. Oh, God. Oh, man, Vet, it really pissed me off, brother.
Well, actually, we just don't need this whole thing.
No,
like, first of all,
I don't mind them.
No,
it's
listen.
All right, I'm trying. All right.
Breathe, Ray. Your heart.
I'm good. My heart's
okay.
I lost 26 pounds.
So the white guy's a cheese sandwich. We agree to that.
Oh, God.
It doesn't matter how many stacks of craft singles you stack up.
It's
still a cheese sandwich, right? Now, Dion Lennox already had a gimmick. He was the guy with a book. So he was basically the Hulk, I guess. He got mad and then he gets angry and then he gets more powerful and then he wins matches, I guess. Gimmicks sucked, but he had one already at least, and they were giving him TV time with it. And they give him several weeks of TV time with it. So it's weird that he's just here in this, like, getting reintroduced. Like, where'd the book go? Do you just stop reading books because your promos are in black and white?
Sorry, government cheese.
Yeah.
No, he's not a government cheese sandwich. He's Velveeta. He's a Velveeta slice, not even fucking Kraft.
That's too good for him.
All right, so whatever. Borden.
Anyway.
He's Borden. He's Borden cheese, Jet.
So, okay, whatever. He's out is what he is because we don't hire him. He's done.
He stinks.
Deion Lennox already had a gimmick. The guy that you like, he's good enough to stand on his own.
Yeah.
And so is Sugars.
Word.
They shouldn't even be together. They should be their own gimmicks. But instead you grouped 4 people together because clearly you didn't see, and by you I'm talking about whoever, Shawn Michaels, whoever, you didn't see anything, so you just grouped them all together. But clearly we could see the individual worth or no worth of these people. So having them, and again, besides all of that, the way this started before we even knew who any of them were or how good they were or weren't, it's just it's San Extribution again. We don't need this gimmick again. It goes nowhere. There's no money in these gimmicks. They're corny. Yeah. They make wrestling fake, and you're wasting the talents of the couple of guys that actually could do something. So there you have it.
There you go.
Now Oba is walking the hallways. Then Oba is walking to the ring. Then here comes Yoshiki Inamura.
I love him.
And he's telling his story of, I went to Japan. I realized what I missed. I missed my friend. I missed the fans. I want to pay back the fans by doing something big and winning the NXT championship, basically. Mm-hmm. And Oba says, hey, that's great. I get it. I've been from somewhere else and I had to make my own way, but you ain't going to make it at my expense. More or less, that's what he says.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Jasper also, you remember him, he came out and beat up the Marco G. Now he's out here to beat up the fat Yoshi.
So this is a third running from behind, is what you're telling me, Vet.
I'm telling you that. Yes.
3 of the same fucking angles, and 2 of them have the same guy.
Yeah.
Who gets paid for this? I really want to know.
Everyone but us.
My God.
So that happens, and then, but this is the best part. So he takes out.
There is no best
Yoshi.
part.
You're gonna like it the way I describe it.
Fine, go.
Okay, so Jasper is very angry. Obviously, this is his second time out here. He's assaulting grown men. He takes out Yoshi from behind like it's nothing, and then he gets up on the apron. But Obafemi freezes him in place. Absolutely petrifies him as if he was the Gorgon Medusa and turned Jasper Troy to stone, not with his ugly mug, but with one of the deadliest moves in wrestling, guaranteed to paralyze your opponent, the belt hold. Oh. He held that belt, and Jasper Troy was frozen solid. They might as well call him Jasp Popsicle Troy.
No, don't do it. Don't.
It's the best I could do.
Let me tell you something. I'm so tired of the belt hold, Vet. And no.
I know. It didn't work on you because I don't actually have a belt. So.
Well, to be fair, in real life scenarios, it does work. I'll explain to you. A few nights ago, I was on the train, and there was a crackhead that came on, as they do in New York. Mm-hmm. And very belligerent, almost, and I took my belt off my waist. My pants fell down, but that's a story for another day. And I held my belt up at him. You know, that guy got off the next stop. Petrified. He knew what was coming.
I don't even know how he got off. He should have been frozen solid until the train reached the end of the line.
Well, after I put the belt back into my pants, you could tell the people on the train I was over.
They were clapping.
Oh, it was fucking amazing.
High-fiving.
Fucking crackhead. And he was just staring. He was just, you should have seen that. Anyway, the old belt hold, folks.
The old belt hold.
Listen, real quick, Yoshiki, I love the guy, and if he does get a title match, you know it's gonna be fucking good. He's just, man, if this guy and his English is getting better, like you could tell the difference between them giving him lines to say, which he was given lines, but he was kind of like thinking it through, and I appreciate, like, can I just tell the NXT crowd for this one time, I appreciate the crowd not fucking, they gave him his, they were like, shh, let him talk, that type of shit.
They didn't what him.
Yeah, there you go. So little things that you probably didn't realize while you were watching the show, folks, that's why we're here. But the NXT crowd was respectful, and they knew that he was kind of thinking through what he was going to say, because English is probably not even his second language. So good for him, man. He did a great job. I thought he did a very, very good job. Good for him. He's going to be great. It's going to be a great match if they get it, because Jasper Troy, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure that something will happen.
Shout out to Bruce, by the way, who jumped in late. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, he's here. All right. So Izzi gives a Dark Paxum a new doll. This is her way of making friends or grooming, whatever.
She's such a hot little thing, though. Bro. I didn't see it at first, but now I get it.
And then Zarisol comes by and's like, hey, what the fuck? Leave her alone. And then Izzi comes over, and Izzi brings Paxum over to the culling and introduces her, like, and they're like looking at her like they didn't know she works there or something.
Yeah.
Like they don't know who this is. Like, who's this? Who's your new friend? Like,
I'm gonna start. How does he do it? Like this? It's like this. I'm gonna start standing like that on the train. It's like with his arms. It's weird, but it's so cool.
it's like it's exactly what Morpheus did in the Matrix, except he does that behind his back.
Right.
But he knows if he's on camera and he does it behind his back, the camera won't see him doing it, so he puts it in the front.
A little creepy though. He's like, who is your little friend?
Yeah.
You know, how old are you, little girl?
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I got. Would you like some candy?
Yeah. It works.
Maybe my penis.
It works.
Anyway,
Might be a shoot.
Hey.
Big Tony D enters the ring, but
All
we
right.
don't have time for that match yet because we have to go to High Rise, checking on Trick. Like, hey, how you doing? And then he's immediately starts dressing them down for all their shortcomings, which they deserve. But
They suck, yeah.
as soon as they tell him that Wes is going to take care of Joe Hendry next week, all of a sudden Trick is with it, and he says he's going to owe him one.
Oh, what is he gonna owe them?
I don't know.
An TNA title shot, maybe.
But yeah, maybe. Well, we also know, what does it mean when a wrestler says, I'm going to take care of somebody next week, and then they just have a regular wrestling match.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah. And then lose. So
Hold on.
whatever.
Cold-blooded. No, that is not OTM's real name. New name. That's not OTM, by the way.
High Rise?
High Rise is not OTM.
Yeah, In the Mud.
I mean, they're both
High
black
Rise.
guys.
High Rise was formerly In the Mud, but that High Rise is their official name.
My friend Cold Blood. I'm sure we get them all confused and stuff, but they're not
Oh,
the
God.
same guys. Oh
Oh,
God.
God.
Oh God.
All right. Heritage Cup time.
Oh, why not?
Stacks versus Tony D. Well, I'll
Fuck
tell you
this
10
match.
reasons why not. But
Fuck this
yeah.
match, dude.
All right. So here's the breakdown. Number 1, round 1, no decision. And these thugs that come out with Stacks, like
Yo.
these white t-shirted thugs.
Cut it. That being Tony and Stacks, especially Stacks, they were getting low key fucking made fun of the entire match by Booker T and fucking what's his name? Tattoo Jones. What's the guy's name again?
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves. They were fucking mocking them so bad. I don't know if you caught it, but
I wasn't listening closely, so
that they made fun of Stacks, his name, like they were going in on Stacks, and I think
I remember them saying something like about the underboss, like
Yeah,
what are you
no,
Booker T's like, what are you supposed to how long are you supposed to be the underboss or whatever? Like
it was more than that, bro. They were literally making fun of his name, his gimmick. Like
They should.
Low key, bro. They were doing it the whole laughing at him. It was and then making fun of the dudes that he brought down because they don't fit, if you know what I mean. So I took joy in that, but this match was the shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so normally I would do a round by round breakdown, but I've just decided just now that I don't care to do it. I will point out the negative things, the flawed things, like for how Luca doesn't come out to corner Tony until he's already lost a fall. That's one thing.
Thank you. Why not be in the corner the entire match? You're supposed to be his fucking consigliere, right?
Right.
You're supposed to be proving. You're supposed to be proving that he could depend on you. Why the fuck are you gonna come in the 5th round or whatever round he fucking came?
Well,
in?
I'll tell you why.
Come on.
But not now.
All right, it's fine.
I'll tell you as soon as we finish this bullshit. So, they do the thing where he's like fighting with the thugs on the outside. Luca is, and Tony's up in the ring or on the apron or some shit. No, he's on the apron, and then he's trying to grab the spit bucket from these dudes for whatever reason, and he accidentally pulls it too hard and hits Tony. So then Stacks gives him a suplex inside the ring. And then hits the Shining Wizard, because of course that's his move. Why wouldn't the Shining Wizard be the move of some skinny non-Italian guy?
He ever so gently brushed his shoelace across the back of the head of Tony. Did you? Yeah, it was that was the weakest. He didn't even slap the leg. That was a terrible Shining Wizard, and I'm not burying the kid for any other reason.
It was a dull wizard.
He's earned it. By the way, also Luca made sure to make it obvious that he's looking up at Tony, because you got to make sure to hit that, hit him with that bucket.
Right.
It was
and
shit,
and then after that, so like Stacks wins the Heritage Cup.
Release these bums.
Stacks wins the Heritage Cup, Ray.
So now he
is a Heritage Cup champion. And they did not care about that at all, because all they cared about was the angle afterwards where Tony no-sells everything that just happened to him, and so that he can get mad at Luca and punch Luca in the face. So we don't get a cup celebration. We're just like, yeah, you won, whatever, get out. So I guess that's another slight disrespect to, like in keeping with your theme of that people probably don't like him, even though if that's the case, I don't know why they're putting him over. But anyways, never mind that. And never mind the fact that there's no possible way that during the course of these events that Tony D could have known that it was Luca that hit him with the bucket, because he wasn't even looking.
There you go. Oh, man.
So anyways, everything wrong with that. Everything we said, everything we just didn't say because we didn't feel like talking about it anymore. Moving on. Sarah Schreiber with fatal influence. Moving on. Mm-hmm. Jordynne Grace doing pull-ups. Lainey, Reed, and Thea are about to get into it, but then Lash Legend comes in and says, watch how it's done, ladies.
That's right, baby.
Ava decides of all the people and of all times, she's sick of Ethan Page's shit now.
Yeah.
All the stuff he already did, but now she's sick of it.
She's not sick of Jasper Troy, who basically ran in. No. Just
not sick of that yet. He's only done it twice in one show. Ethan Page has been doing this for months, so she's sick of it.
I think it's because Ethan Page is a white guy. There, I said it.
Even though he's Canadian, still.
Close enough.
So she's so sick of it, Ray, that she says, I'm going to see you in my office next week.
Oh,
like,
shit.
why next week? What are we waiting for?
She has paperwork, a lot of paperwork to do this week.
Well, you know what else she has?
Oh, what? Buck teeth?
Yeah, but she takes those all the way over to a laid out Hank and Tank.
Oh, what happened to them?
Yeah.
Dark State?
Maybe.
The white guy left his fucking you could see the cup of coffee that he left there, the Starbucks half empty drunk. I don't know if you noticed it. You know it was him.
It was a very subtle Easter egg, but
yeah, you could see the latte just sitting there getting cold. Anyway, it is what it is. He did it. They did it.
They did it. All right. Well, then we go back to the announcer's desk for an on camera so that they can say, let's go back to Sarah Schreiber with Joanne. Oh my God. Was Jeremy Borash doing that much here? The minute he runs down to Mexico, like completely fuck everything off?
Yeah, this...
Not that it was ever good.
It's better with... It was better with Borash, I'll tell you
Apparently a little bit. Anyway.
Speaking of JB, real quick, you know Abyss officially retired from wrestling.
Is somebody mad at him?
Just say you retired. I don't know much.
Are you guys mad at me? I'll retire if you're mad at me.
I'll retire.
You're not mad at me, are you?
You retired. Just him and John Jones, both retired. The greatest of all time and the greatest of all time.
You got any sidebar comments about John Jones?
Yeah, it's fucking. That's one of that destroyed his. I think what he did was one of the weakest things I've ever seen anybody do. He won the heavyweight championship against a really old Miocic because he knew he could kind of beat a really old Miocic, and then he refused to defend the title for almost a year. And then when finally there's a champion that you know is going to give him comp, he backed out. He didn't want to face Ngannou. Ngannou, the match was set. They gave him the money that he wanted. I think it was $30 million. And then he's like, oh, no, I don't want it anymore. I don't want to do it. Bro, this dude, John Jones, never wanted to be a heavyweight. He just wanted to kind of like tack on. If he would have just retired as a light heavyweight, fine. But this destroyed his fucking mystique or whatever the hell you want to call it. Not lineage. What do you call it? His
legacy.
Well,
I mean, to me, it's just the last in a long line of weak moves.
Yeah, the drunk driving, the drug use, all this other bullshit. You know, listen, man. I'll just end it like this. It made John Jones look terribly weak. And right now, the UFC is at a point. Oh, wow. I'm wearing a shirt. The UFC is at a point where I believe that they've become so fucking corporate along with TKO that they're ruining their own company. The heavyweight division is the weakest I've ever seen the heavyweight division since the Tim Sylvia days. I don't know if you remember those days of the heavyweight division. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Nobody's really giving a shit about the heavyweight division in the UFC. And I think in order to save it, they need to renegotiate with Ngannou, bring him back, and have him face the champ right now. Other than that, that's the only thing that can probably help rebuild the UFC's heavyweight division. And we all know that when the heavyweight division in any sport is good, the company is good. And right now, the UFC's heavyweight division is at its worst. And I think John Jones is he'll beat my ass, but he's a fucking joke when it comes to being a true champion. So that's my opinion on that, brother.
All right, well, we needed a little something. Jaida and Izzi and Paxum. No, wait. Well, yes, technically Paxum. Paxum enters with Izzi. So, new friend, new doll, coming out to the ring. But then before we get the rest of the entrance, we got to go back to the new you. And Andre Chase is like, he tells those kids, hey, I thought about what happened last week, and I was right. You guys need to toughen the fuck up.
Gen Z kids. That's what they are. Is that where they're going with this? Is Gen Z versus Gen X? Is that what this is?
This is just like the old guys thinking that Trick's going to get heat for being flamboyant. This is them thinking that this is them acting out their revenge fantasies on this generation of kids. So
go ahead.
So he has the kids walk out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, man, we never should have, I can't believe we told you to start this place up again or whatever. And then we haven't had this in a while, the return of the dream cam, where Andre Chase flashes back to the moment that they told him they wanted him to reopen the school, so we can see inside Andre Chase's brain, like right off to the side of the screen. I know Apollo Crews is furious somewhere, and so is everybody else. So is everybody else who doesn't have the technology to read people's minds that could really use it right about now. But WWE being so selfish with the technology, not sharing. Elon Musk would kill somebody for this tech. He wishes that Grok could see into your mind.
Grok is so terrible at making pictures, like generating stuff. Like I wanted to do. You see how I updated the little Gorilla Monsoon Bobby Heenan thing?
Yeah.
So
Get rid of that monstrosity.
you don't like it?
No.
Why not?
Where's the other one?
I deleted it, but I could bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back.
You don't like this?
Ugh, God, what is that?
Okay, I'll bring the old one back. God darn it.
Gross.
Sorry. I'll bring the old one back. I'm sorry. But anyway, just shout out to Todd Brantley. What's going on, buddy? Thank you for joining us late.
All right. Now, a Lash Legend and Jordynne Grace make their entrance. Have to notice, Jordynne Grace met with severe apathy.
Oh, yeah, nobody gave a shit. That's basically
nobody cared, right?
And if anyone doesn't understand, nobody gave a shit about Jordynne Grace. They did give a shit about Miss Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Parker.
She's definitely over tonight.
She's over. Hello, my chocolate delight is over. Lash Legend. Right. And I gotta be honest with you, Izzi Dane. I don't know, Vet. Correct. Wait.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
She getting better?
I would hope so.
I think she's getting better. She's getting better. Not only character work, but her in-ring stuff is getting a lot better than what it has been. But Vet, I guess this is the main event, right? This is it.
It's the main event.
All right.
So Dark Maxim tries to involve herself in this match, grabbing legs and whatnot, and here comes Zarasol to carry her off, kicking and screaming. They're going to make her their friend, whether she likes it or not. Yeah. You have to do that sometimes with your friends. You have to, when your friend does something silly and you just have to like forcibly stop them because they don't, they lost their way.
Yeah.
So
get me severe apathy, Jones, pal.
Yeah. So they stole Paxum and carried her to the back. And then eventually Jordynne Grace stole a win from Lash Legend because Lash Legend had everybody beat. And then Jordynne came in, snuck in, pushed Lash out of the way, hit an extra finisher on Jaida Parker, who had already had Lash's Legends finisher hit on her. And Jordynne Grace will be moving on, and people were mildly amused, but not really that into it. They probably would have been happier if any of the other three people won.
Well, I think they also made a mistake in having the hottest commodity in that match get pinned. Why pin fucking Jaida Parker?
Because I'll tell you why. Because they didn't know. Because they didn't know the crowd was going to react like that.
Nobody noticed over the last fucking 3 months that Miss Parker is getting more and more and more and more over. That people are going crazy over this girl, and not just because she has a fat ass and a cute face, but the girl is. Let me tell you something. That young lady, I don't know if she was legit injured or she was selling the fuck out of her out of this match, like selling like a motherfucker. She was selling great during this match. Even when she was pinned, because it was her back that was hurt during the match, when she was rolled up, she was like going back at her back, and she was basically crying in the ring like, bro, Jaida Parker is dope. They are not, dude. They are Braun Breakering Jordynne Grace. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Well, I know what Braun Breakering means because I sort of coined the term, but
yeah.
But back when Braun Breaker was doing it, I said they were Roman Reignsing him.
Right, but they're look, Jordynne Grace, she needs to be a heel. She needs to be a bad girl because nobody cares enough about her as a baby face. Sorry, it is what it is. Jaida Parker should be a heel, but like you say, how do you get over? You be a heel. Her characteristics, mannerisms, everything that Jaida Parker does is that of a heel, but people absolutely love her. And I think she's earned it. I think she's gotten so much better. She looks great. She cuts fire promos, as the kids say nowadays. Bro, I would not put the belt on Jordynne Grace.
She was a rich soccer kid growing up.
Sure. Well, no, she's from the mean streets of fucking Greenwich Village. But Jordynne Grace, all right, you're going to put, I told you, they're going to put the belt on this girl. Right, it's gonna be a fart in the wind, and you're gonna have to build up Miss Parker to take that belt from her. I think that is the right way to do it. I think they picked the wrong person to get pinned in this match, and all in all, the match, in my humble opinion, was fun to watch. It was a fun match. I enjoyed it. I took enjoyment in watching this match. I loved the spots. The girls worked hard. Is there anything that you can critique about this match, though, Vet, before we sign off?
No, I wasn't watching it. But let's talk about
Fair enough.
let's talk about the idea that we've got Jordynne versus Reptilian Britt Baker now.
Right.
Set.
She'll beat her.
Yeah, and I think that's why they wanted to put the belt on her, because they didn't want it to be like a torch pass from Stephanie. They wanted to have somebody that's even also unlikable. But here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Even as unlikable as JC Jane is, and even as much as the fans don't want to cheer her the way they ironically cheer some other heels, like I guess Lash Legends technically never had a babyface turn, but they just cheer for her because she's been there a while. And that's awesome. That's part of it. It's the equity. Equity. That's the word for what's going on here. Even if they don't care about JC Jane, she has more equity with these fans than Jordynne Grace does. Jordynne Grace.
She's a TNA wrestler.
Right. That's a TNA plant. And like you said, not that likable. So certainly not relatable. I mean, most little girls aren't going to look at Jordynne Grace and be like, I want to be like that. Ugh, no, you don't.
No.
So whatever. But let me not speak for all the little girls out there. Let's just say that the crowd in general did not care for Jordynne Grace this night. They might care for her on the night where there's somebody somewhere out of NXT, they might care for her more there. But in this room, she's not a favorite because they've been with JC longer. So it's just going to be one of those type of things.
Just want to quickly.
And what do we got over here? A cup of potatoes? A cup of potatoes?
No, we have a super sticker, $5 super sticker from Cold Blooded. Big shout out to Cold Blooded. Thank you guys. And again, we always say thank you all for joining us here. MV Hitman, our brother Media M5, the ghost of our brother is here. And you came in late. You must have been doing cool stuff in heaven. This ain't Texas running late. Vet, all in all, decent show?
Nah.
Okay.
I think we point out several instances of which we just wish that we were watching anything else.
Thank you, Cold Blooded, for the super sticker. We appreciate it every single time.
For the record, it's a pair dancing with a party hat and a noisemaker.
Nice. I wish I could see
and
this.
An 80s sweatband.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, that's. Hey guys, just a reminder, and I know you guys are busy, probably at work and stuff like that, but we are here at 11 a.m. We have a lot of people joining in late, so if you want to rewind it, This Ain't Texas, Ghost of MV Hitman, all these guys that jumped in late, you can do so. It'll be up here on YouTube until we figure out the whole, because we're moving from Channel Attitude to Patreon. And again, the lives, I'm just going to reiterate for people that didn't hear Matt say it, the lives are not going anywhere. We're going to still be here for you live. This is for the podcast version of it or the replay version of it, so on and so forth. So that'll be on Patreon along with some other stuff. But yeah, Vet, why don't we sign off here, my friend? We had a nice long show today. I can't believe T-Mobile came through for me. Still no internet here. I've tested it several times during the show, and I'm just I feel blessed. I feel blessed to have the best in the world and this unbelievable group of people here and this fun show and a terrible NXT. Vet?
Well, I'll tell you what's not terrible. Following @OpinionHaver on all your favorite social media platforms.
Everywhere.
I'm certainly not going to bombard you with a bunch of unsolicited opinions. Mm-hmm. Like when you didn't ask me for my opinion and I just am tweeting randomly or posting annoying Instagram pictures all the time or Instagram stories or things. Not going to get a lot of that following me, so don't worry about it. Just, it's a nice, easy follow if you want. If you don't, that's also fine. Mm-hmm. You can find me every Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, live for the Impact Attack with Brandon. We talk about the TNA portion of this partnership. You can catch me every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern for Dab Wreckage, where I talk with Jimmy T about the AEW problem. You can catch me Well, sometimes you can catch a message from me in the chat of Wrestling Rip Rogers every Concrete Friday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Ask Rip Rogers a question. You can catch
real quick. Rip Rogers, does he have a set schedule, or is it like I find it difficult following when he's on? When is he on again?
Well, it's usually the concrete time of noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. There.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Fridays. And also on Friday it drops a new episode of the Stevie Richards Show.
I updated it. Where is it? I think I updated it. I thought I did. Damn it. Oh, here it is.
There it is. 120K subscribers. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
339 videos to check out and enjoy for free. That's a hell of a value. And of course, we got Limpin' Ain't Easy with Timmy Baltimore, which there should be a new episode premiering or just finishing up, like right as we log off of here, there should be a new video. So please check out all of these things and check out whatever Ray's about to tell you about.
Well, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have the Monday Locker Room, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday. We have the Smack Attack, of course, every Sunday. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the A Show, which is coming on later tonight. No, actually, no, it was yesterday. It should be up on YouTube or wherever you watch the show. It's 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. You can check out April Hunter, and it's awesome. Anyway, with that being said, I did the show yesterday with Jimmy T. If you guys missed it, it's Monday Night Raw. We break that down, the King of the Ring match. Possibly one of the best Raws I've seen in quite some time, man. And a fantastic main event between Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. And, of course, this weekend and later tonight, if I can get the internet, the Pro Wrestling Reflection. Vet, question. What if I told you there is a movie right out there that we didn't know about that stars Haku? Would you watch it?
I'm not completely sold yet. It's only Haku?
No, it's not just Haku. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pro Wrestling Reflection will be reviewing The Unbreakable Bunch. This was a 2024 film with Haku, Ernie the Cat Miller, whatever the fuck his name was, and Glacier. Ladies and gentlemen, they play, I don't know what the hell they do.
Who's those other two people?
That's fucking Gimmick Jones and Gimmick Joanna. I don't know who they are, but they are probably actors, and they're in this movie, and they're going to be, and the Professor and Tommy and JB are going to be reviewing this movie. I can't wait to find out. And Vet, just so you know, I didn't in fact delete it. It is here. I will keep it here. This Day in Pro Wrestling. I have deleted the other one. I thought you liked it, but it's the shits. And
who would like it?
I don't know, Fat. I just don't know. But that's about it for us folks tonight, today, forever. Oh, wait. No, maybe till next week. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But for me and the Vet, I don't have a sign-off line. What do you say?
That's what I say.
Oh. So I'll see you next week, guys. God bless.
Go, you know the thing.
It's like missionary position every single night.
This is the Hustler Rip Rogers. Yeah, it's fucking me. Yeah, and listen to the fucking Hameen Media Group. That's Ben Hameen Media Group from Rip Rogers. Go get him and go fuck yourself.